All right, let's slide over into the question of the day, which ties into the reaction video, by the way. So the question of the day: what situation warrants a man protecting a stranger? Hmm. I could think of a few. I could think of a few. But as a man, I could say I'm not real quick to get into a situation where I'm potentially risking my freedom over something that could possibly be some bull. Like I don't know the details or the context of what I'm watching and what I need to be saving said person from. And so, but I think protecting, that's the key word, right? So we're not just talking about seeing someone like saving somebody. We're talking about protecting somebody from, like, I guess, harm. So not heroism, but, well, I guess it is a form of being a hero, but um if somebody's under attack in some way. Uh, let's do a hypothetical. I could say if I'm walking out of the grocery store to my vehicle and I see some domestic stuff going on between a couple by their vehicle, and it's to the point where the gentleman he's throwing, he's launching rights and lefts. Um, depending on how terribly it's going, I may give a little, hey, yo, hey, bro, easy, easy. He tell me to mind my business and stay out of it. Well, I am staying out of it because I ain't coming over there. I'm just saying, not too much. You look a little heavy-handed, my dog. That's it. That's all. You know what I'm saying? I might go that route. But in them situations, I tend not to be a person who gonna like actually put my nose into that, because I know personally people who've dealt with situations like that, and like you will go over there trying to be a hero, getting ready to put your freedom on the line, and they be right back with the goofy. So, in them situations, if somebody, like, I'm being real, and it's all too often too. So you'll be somewhere fighting a case, you know what I mean, and they'll be laid up. They'll be laid up chilling. So no, I ain't too quick to jump into those. Now, if it comes to protection in the way of like civilians in danger, so let's say I'm in the grocery store and I happen to be, concealed carrying or whatever, allegedly all for content creation purposes. And this is a hypothetical. If I'm in the grocery store and I'm concealed carrying or whatever, and somebody comes in and they are active, personnel, and they in there boom, 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 or whatever, and they trying to take out civilians and stuff like that. Me being one with concealed carry, if law enforcement has not, if I don't hear sirens, if law enforcement has not arrived and I'm in that store, first off, I'm thinking to protect myself. And if I'm with someone, I'm thinking to protect them as well. But also the preservation of as many lives as possible in general is also on my mind. But I'm not a type of person that's going to hide behind the butter rolls if I'm, carrying. It would be, it would go from a active to a active out. It'd be a shootout. You know what I mean? Try not to say too many flag words. Y'all know we gotta keep everything classic. So, but yeah, I'm not that type of person to like stand by, or like another good example of protecting a stranger. I didn't have to know Mr. Floyd, like George. I didn't have to know him, right? If I was present that day, it would have either been both of us or neither of us, because I wouldn't have just stood there and recorded or yelled at the police. Like the police officers, no disrespect to them, but the ones that were standing in front, like trying to keep the crowd at bay, neither one of them was gonna stop me from getting over there and getting dude leg off of my man throat and chest. And I know they claimed that he was, under some substances, and so that he, technically OD'd or whatever. But regardless of the fact, if you got too much of something in your system, having your breathing and your lung capacity and your respiratory system compromised in any way can't be helpful. So, they could miss me with that bullshit. But I'm not the type of person where I would have needed to know that man to intervene physically, to physically intervene. You know what I mean? I'm not that type of person. I definitely would have been a beacon of protection that day, or a martyr. The Brooklyn subway platform situation, dude was going in on a woman and other men stepped up and pulled him off of her. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. It looked like they said he was trying to abduct her or something, from what I saw in the caption. I don't know how verified that is or whatever the case may be, but I saw that. And in a situation like that, yeah, like if I see something that appears to be an active abduction, I have a civilian right to intervene in that within the confines of the law. If you are a person who can carry, you can use your firearm to protect yourself or anyone else from potential life-threatening harm. For sure, legally. You're not gonna do no time for that. So if it had to be that, it would have been that. I couldn't watch an active abduction, like somebody screaming, "I don't know this man," while he trying to pull her down the subway stairs and just, not do anything. And even listen, and here's the thing about that. The sticky part about it is, if she's lying, say they in some type of knockdown, drag out argument, but this woman is the type of woman that knows how to weaponize certain things. And so she's actually lying and they do know each other. Then it's like, y'all just jump. Cause I think a few dudes got involved, right? You said, yeah, men, it was multiple men. Yeah. A few dudes got involved and, got the stepping on dude, you know what I mean? In that subway situation. So, if that's the case, and then you find out that they did know each other, I don't know. I think as civilians, you probably get away with that. Like the law enforcement may not. I don't know if there would be any charges pressed on you for getting that situation wrong. If anything, in a situation like that, if a woman is screaming, "I don't know this man," and they actually married or something, but they just having a real bad argument in public, and so she weaponizing that, and then he get jumped on by several dudes because she playing like he trying to kidnap her, and they actually married. Come to find out, I think she should face charges, not the dudes that beat him up. I think the woman for lying should face charges, because it's this dude named Emmett Till that I'd never forget about, that was from Chicago. April said yes, it was several. Yeah, like we can't like the female lies and stuff, and I ain't finna double down on women or nothing like that, but females lying and stuff have put a lot of men historically in really, really, really unfortunate situations, leading all the way down to being unalived. So when women are caught in dramatic lies that lead to stuff like that, I definitely think they should be facing some sort of a criminal charge for that, for sure. Even if they beat the charge, they should be facing one. They should have to go beat the charge. They should be charged. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion on that. But yeah, what situation warrants a man protecting a stranger? I definitely say, like, if you're witnessing an abduction, I think if you're witnessing like a brutality, like somebody, let's say two dudes having a fair fight, and one guy gets the better of the other guy, but he don't know when to say when, and he start trying to, like, step on dude's head or neck, or like, you could literally be witnessing somebody getting, finished. So if that's what's going on, I think you start with words. Hey man, you won, it's good, it's good, it's good. If you see dude ain't, like, if he blanked out with it, then somebody got to grip him up, grab him, pull him away, something like physical apprehension. And if he reached, then all for content creation purposes, I teach, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna stand there and let you, if you won, if y'all have a fair one, y'all square up for the fair one, and you make him miss and make him pay. Clean on the chin and he dropped. Bang, his head hit the ground. Off rip, he concussed. Don't do nothing else to him. You won, bro. You won. And matter of fact, if in 9 times out of 10 in this day and age, somebody recording what's going on, or there's a camera of some sort somewhere that's recording what's going on right then and there. So if you clean him up in a fair exchange, you clean him up, that's self-defense. When he dropped and you go to doing too much, now you're facing charges. I'm just telling y'all a little bit about the law. You know what I'm saying? So it's a you know, it's a time where it's like you got to know when to say when. And I think as a civilian, you got to know when to step in. You know what I mean? But I think we could sit here and do hypotheticals for a long time on this question. But yeah, I think that let me talk about some of the situations I'm gonna mind my own business with though. I talked about the domestic stuff. For the most part, I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna keep walking. What else am I gonna mind my own business on? Certain animals. If I see somebody being attacked by certain animals, they on their own. If I gotta help them, certain ones. If somebody getting attacked by like a dog or something, I help. Cause it's not. I don't think there's any breed of dog that's gonna beat me one on one. I might need hella stitches. You know what I'm saying? When it's over, I ain't saying I ain't gonna get. I'm not gonna, take my my bumps and bruises. But yeah, I'll pull a German Shepherd up off you for sure, for sure. And if he play, that's where he gonna lay. You know what I'm saying? Y'all seen I Am Legend when Will Smith had to put Sam in that. He put Samantha in that. You feel me? That's why we do our bicep curls, y'all. In case we gotta, you feel me? That pit bull grab your child, you gotta be able to get him up off of there. That's why as men, we gotta do our bicep curls, man. Make sure y'all get y'all headlocks together. But yeah, man, that's it for the question of the day, man. I don't want to stay on that too long. But if you like what you just saw, support the channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and jump in the comments. Talk to me so we could crack these codes. If you want to support the channel monetarily, go to my website and cop some merch, www.theclassiccodes.com. Or you can shoot me a Cash App. Either way, stick to the codes. Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold.